Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 60 of the Division Z podcast. My name is Jason.
And I am K Cosmic.
Today, we have some stuff to talk about. We got the Call of Duty
do.
Vanguard Champion Hill Alpha. That was this last weekend, which I think is pretty fun. And, yeah, I mean, that's mainly the main topic we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
But
nothing else has really been happening. So it's all been kind of quiet on the zombie side of things. Yeah, in general, Vanguard, the alpha is the main thing that's going on. And I haven't played it. I haven't played it because at the time, I didn't have a PlayStation console. Now I do, but it's finishing now, I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah,
sucks to suck, I guess. Do you have to pre-order it to get to play it?
No, you can download the alpha. It's a public alpha, and you can, whenever you feel like it.
Fair enough.
And it's pretty fun, too. It's I put out a tweet earlier in the week saying, Champion Hill being the next evolution of Gunfight is going to be really interesting to see how that works. And it really is kind of the evolution of Gunfight, where...
I can definitely see that.
If you guys don't know what Gunfight is somehow, it's 2v2 on small maps with random loadouts. This is 2v2 or 3v3 on small maps with predetermined, I use that word in quotes because everyone starts with the same loadout, and then you have to earn money in Champion Hill to buy new weapons like the bar, the STG, whatever you want to buy. And, it's almost got this battle royale thing to it too, where you have X amount of lives, it's 12 lives, where if you have all 12 of your lives depleted, then you're out. But you take turns going up against different teams, and you deplete their lives, you deplete their lives. It's this weird, like, battle royale, team deathmatch, gunfight hybrid, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. What do you prefer? I know you've only played the game mode a few times, obviously. It's only been out for 2 days or so. But what do you prefer as of right now, that or gunfight?
I think as of right now, I still prefer gunfight, just because I've played a lot more gunfight, and I know gunfight. I think Champion Hill has the potential to overtake Gunfight as the prominent 2v2 game mode of Call of Duty, but only time will tell, because obviously this is still an alpha. Things are subject to change, for better or worse. We'll have to find out. But I do know that one thing that is going to be changed for better is, I know you haven't played it, but I don't know if you've noticed, when you have low health, your screen goes really dark.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That was absurd when that happened. So that's being fixed. They addressed that. And apparently, because there's destructible environments in this Call of Duty, people are getting aim assist through walls.
I can see that as well, actually, yeah.
So they're like, okay, we have to fix aim assist through the wall, which I've experienced. Yeah, I've experienced some of that too, and it's like, oh, hey, there's someone there.
Hey.
Yeah, it's honestly really satisfying shooting someone through a destructible wall. It's really satisfying.
I can imagine. So, I mean, when they said destructible environments, I knew it wouldn't be on anything like Battlefield level or anything like that, because COD isn't known for that, I was thinking something more like Ghosts, perhaps, where, you shoot something like a tree, it breaks, it falls down, the same tree over and over. And I think with this game mode, we've only seen a little bit of what they're going to be offering. And when we get the actual game coming out with certain modes and that, I think there'll be modes dedicated more to the whole indestructible things falling apart. You can break more windows, more barriers. I think it'll be very, very fun in the final game. Like I said, I haven't played it yet because I haven't had a chance, but I've seen the gameplay. And if you like Modern Warfare, I'm putting together that you're going to like this as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you really like Modern Warfare's engine and the movement and all that kind of stuff, the mechanics and how the combat works, I think you will like Vanguard, because mounting comes back, tactical sprinting comes back as well. And then everyone's favorite, doors, come back. I know people have made jokes where it's a modern doorfare. But I mean, the thing is about the doors, though, they're destructible too, not just some of the walls. So you can shoot the doors down and not have a door. So I guess there is a little bit of variety there, where you can kind of combat people camping behind a door. Yeah. But we'll just see how that plays out in the main game. But yeah, definitely if you like Modern Warfare, you'll like Vanguard. But at the same time, Vanguard definitely has its own style of gameplay. It's I would say like 80-85% Modern Warfare, and then that extra like 10 or 15% is its own little extra style that it has.
Yeah.
And the weapons definitely play really interestingly, I would say, as compared to the past Sledgehammer game.
I've seen them, and the recoil looks a little bit funny on it. I don't know if they're aiming to be a lot more realistic with it, or
well,
it's definitely the case where Cold War, at least with Cold War, I feel like that a lot of the guns, majority of them, play mostly the same when it comes down to it. Like in the assault rifle category, for example. Sure, they have slower fire rates, higher fire rates, more damage, less damage. But in this, it looks like each weapon has its own way to use it, and own recoil pattern to like such an extent. Because I see the MP40 and the way you're looking down the iron sights, and just like nothing we've seen before with the MP40.
Yeah, the MP40 definitely feels different as compared to other MP40s in the past. Even the World War II MP40 and all the way back from 2017. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely different. And with the whole recoil thing, I only really found that I had an issue with the recoil on the Tommy gun. But when you upgrade the Tommy gun to maximum tier, which, by the way, that's going to be something I want to talk about, the upgrading. Then the recoil isn't so bad. But I can definitely get behind what you were saying there, that the weapons do have their own feel to them. It's actually kind of cool. And another thing that's kind of cool that came out of complete left field, I was streaming the alpha, obviously, earlier in the week, and I upgraded the STG, and I got incendiary rounds for the STG.
Really?
So some weapons in the game, it's not going to be exclusive to shotguns anymore with Dragon's Breath. It looks like there are going to be certain weapons in the game that have incendiary rounds.
Now, what if there's, to an extent, different ammo types in multiplayer?
Maybe.
I don't know. Is it like an attachment it gets on it, or is it?
I don't know.
Does it really go into detail? It just shows, oh yeah, these have fire bullets now.
Honestly, what I think is going to happen is going to be similar to Modern Warfare, where Modern Warfare you can put a perk on a gun. I think the perk is going to be incendiary, if I had to take a guess. Either that or the magazine type, because then it's like the type of bullet that you're loading into your gun. Those are the two options that I can see, but I think more likely than not it's going to be the perks. However, I do want to mention upgrading weapons in the alpha, because I think, and I was playing with Clarky earlier in the week, alpha, he made a really good point that I want to bring to light. The way you upgrade weapons in the alpha for Champion Hill is you just press right on the D-pad. If you have enough money, you press right on the D-pad, you get a new attachment. Yeah. And it upgrades in rarity. So you have, I think it's 2 uncommon attachments, 4 rare, 4 epic, or no, 3 epic, 4 something like that. It was some sort of pattern, and then there's 2 legendary. I think it's 3. But my point that I'm trying to make, all rambling aside, is the weapon rarity is upgraded. So for Vanguard zombies, are we gonna remove that feature from the arsenal and have the arsenal only be armor upgrades, and we just press right on the D-pad if we have enough salvage to upgrade our gun rarity? And I think that's a really good point that Clarky made. What do you think about that?
I think that's good. I think with the whole armor system, the only thing it really entails is you going down. You go down to upgrade your weapon perhaps on a later round, and most times if you don't get out there smoothly, you're going to go down. And I think having the whole situation where you can just upgrade it. Like let's say you're camping, for example, that's a playstyle you're going with. You wouldn't have to move and risk and do something you didn't really like to do. You could just change it there and then. And I think even going further than that, they could do the whole system where when you just have your gun on hand, you can change the attachments there and then if you have them unlocked.
Right.
I think that's something they could definitely do in the future as well alongside that. But no, I like the idea. I like the sound of that. Just make it so the armor... I mean, then again, do we even know the... Well, I guess we don't know because we don't really know much about Vanguard zombies, but...
Are you asking if the Arsenal's coming back or not in the game?
Yeah.
Essentially? I think to be honest, that's going to be a guarantee because of the Dark Aether storyline. Because the Dark Aether storyline is coming back and we're going to be seeing a lot of these elements, I think we are going to see it come back.
It's just going to be put in there.
Yeah, because they already have such an established gameplay style for Cold War that Treyarch, it's essentially Treyarch Year 2 for
Yeah.
zombies. So to me, I think it's a no-brainer because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think adding the arsenal again would make sense. And then kind of contradict what I just said about if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I could also see the just right on the D-pad, upgrade your weapon rarity right then and there. That could be a nice change, but I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens.
There's positives and negatives to that. If you're quite comfy sitting in a corner for a shotgun, you can upgrade it there consistently. Then you're going to get to a higher round, but you have to play a different play style to get your weapon upgraded. Especially in a game where like Cold War, or I'm guessing Vanguard, will be somewhat the same as well because they're going for the same kind of gameplay with Trek. It'll be the case that players aren't super punished for making mistakes, if you get what I mean.
I can understand what you're saying.
That's fine. I think the game should more be fun than punishing people anyway. So if they want to add in a system where you can just upgrade it there and then, absolutely go for it. Absolutely. Would not mind that at all.
Yeah, I think that's it would definitely be a very interesting change. I can already anticipate people complaining about it, where I feel like there is a valid reason to kind of be upset about it because, oh, well, now it's just too easy, right? Because I know that's what a lot of people like to say, the game's already too easy and things like that. This would give them another reason to complain that the game is too easy. But to me, if it fits the style of what they're trying to go for in Vanguard, do it. Just do it.
Yeah, no. And again, Again, it's Treyarch doing it as well, and I think they did such a good job with Cold War and the things they added in there. Cold War as a game doesn't really have too many problems. I think we can all agree in that. Sure, the game can get kind of stale. I think that's just zombies in general. Like, it's going to have these periods where it's going to be super hype, super low, super medium, things like that. But with Cold War, I think Treyarch did the impossible where they put our faith completely back into them after Black Ops 4. So if they want to start messing around with stuff again, they can absolutely do it because they've shown that they can learn from their mistakes and give the community what they want. And that's what they'll do going forward into Vanguard. And if they think, oh, maybe it'd be nice if players could just upgrade their weapons on their person, then they'll go for it.
Yeah.
And then they could introduce that into Black Ops Cold War 2. I don't know. Whatever, next COD game.
Black Ops Cold War 2.
Dude, and it's like no campaign, it's just multiplayer updates. That's all it is.
It's just Black Ops 4 2. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Cold War 2.
It's just wood stained onion, and that's it.
Onion, that's the campaign.
That's the campaign, yeah.
Well,
that's the whole emotional story-driven campaign. There we go.
The story-driven campaign of Frank Woods as he transforms into an onion. What a weird meme. Well, honestly, that's got to be one of the weirdest memes in the Call of Duty community, but I kind of like it at the same time.
I mean, that's my favorite meme in the Call of community. Definitely my favorite meme. Absolutely.
It's definitely it's something. It's something.
Yeah.
I mean, you have you have other campaign memes too, like Train Go Boom. Obviously, I feel like Train Go Boom is one of those memes where it's more mocking than actually laughing with the game. Whereas the Onion meme is more of a oh haha, weird line. Let's make fun of it. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of mocking too, but I feel like because there's so much animosity towards the Black Ops 3 campaign, I feel like Train Go Boom is like, fuck that, Train Go Boom.
It's like Train Go Boom. That's okay.
and then everyone just goes, fucking that campaign is dumb.
That campaign, come on, that campaign.
Dude, remember when we tried to play Nightmares together on stream?
Nah. Yeah, I do. And then all the Cold War stuff started happening.
Dude, that was the funniest thing. For those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, probably like a year ago by now, maybe almost exactly a year ago, we tried playing Nightmares on stream together because we thought it'd be fun. An hour into the stream is when Pawn Takes Pawn kicked off, and we're like, all right, we're not doing this anymore. We are shifting our attention over
to the important
stuff. We're gonna do Cold War stuff here. We're not even gonna worry about Nightmares anymore. That was the last time I touched it either.
I've actually had a grudge towards you ever since because I wanted to complete Nightmares, and I was so angry when you wanted to talk about the potential next COD game,
No.
especially after it being pretty much confirmed that it was gonna be Treyarch making it. I was so upset and devastated. I was very angry, and still am. Still am.
Dude, Nightmares is a weird game mode. I mean,
It
I never completed it,
Me
but
either.
I don't know how to feel about it. I don't have
Would
a
you
really
ever want to complete it?
yes, just because I want a well-rounded opinion. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm not even joking when I say this. I think I've literally only done like 2 missions or like
Same here.
3 maybe.
That's
So
similar campaign though. I've only done like a few missions, and I'm making these reviews. Like, oh yeah, the campaign's just not it, and I've only played like 2 missions. I just know the rest of the campaign's gonna be awful. But listen,
I mean,
if you want to play Nightmares, that's something we can do once it's downloaded on my PS5 because I got
Dude,
it's with the PS Plus collection thing. So I'm
yes.
downloading it now. I'm downloading Black Ops 3. So
Dude, we gotta resume our Nightmares game. Hey, let us know in the comments too if you want to see us do that, because I feel that could be
stream.
fun. I mean, it'll be streamed on my Twitch channel and his YouTube channel when that happens.
Definitely,
So you might as well check out those links in the description.
Oh yeah, check out the links, absolutely, and subscribe to this channel as well.
And subscribe to this channel as well to stay up to date with everything Division Z related, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Smoothly transitioned in. Now we'll transition out with the promotion.
Yeah, we're out of promotion mode here. But yeah, no. Vanguard Zombies is going to be interesting to see how that plays out. How if the weapon upgrade system gets revamped. Again, we're speaking in hypotheticals because nothing is confirmed or denied. And then what else? What else about the Vanguard Alpha can we talk about? Well, it's definitely I don't want to say sweaty, but it's definitely very competitive already. It's already a competitive game mode.
Yeah, and I can imagine people jumping on. And here's the thing with Modern Warfare 2019. I feel like that game was very much so like Black Ops 2 to a lot of people, where they didn't go to Cold War, they just stayed on Modern Warfare 2019 just to play that.
Right.
And now that they have the exact same game, pretty much reskinned in World War II setting, and I know it's not the exact same game, but you get what I mean. It feels very similar because it's the exact same engine, obviously. So when they have something new to play that people are wanting to try and be competitive in, they're like, right, let's just absolutely grind this. I'm gonna see this kid here. you know, like see this kid here. Watch my aim. You see these barriers that you can knock down. Watch this.
Dude, half the time for the destructible environments, I don't even bother trying to shoot people through it. I just break through them. I just break because you can sprint through the wall and break the wall. So I just sprint through the wall and try to catch these people by surprise.
I can imagine. Oh, that's funny. That's gonna make some great content when the game comes out and people are just like, oh.
It's funny too. Like you're talking about, we're talking about the Modern Warfare comparison to Vanguard. People are already starting to camp, and I know Modern Warfare has been very notorious for its camping. So a lot of people on specific maps are already starting to do a lot of camping.
Yeah.
And I find it ironic because, again, like I said, Modern Warfare is known for its camping. But, I mean, I guess you could make the argument for any Call of Duty game. But, again, it's really funny to me. And I don't know, I just found it kind of funny.
I mean, here's the thing. There's some games where camping isn't too much of an option. Like, sure, like, you can camp in pretty much any game, right? If you really wanted to, right?
Yeah.
But even with Advanced Warfare, I'm pretty sure that might be one of the reasons they actually put forth an exosuit. So the idea of camping would be put away. Huh. I know they wanted to do it for like all replayability.
Interesting point.
We didn't want the people to get bored and burnt out on just boots in the ground. But the fact is, in a game like Advanced Warfare, you can't really camp. You can kind of camp, but then someone else will just jump over you.
Yeah.
Like, right.
I think that's one of those interesting dynamics about exosuit games where the person's not going to be coming from straight ahead of you. They're going to be flying above you too, which can be annoying. I know
it kind of removes that problem that Modern Warfare seems to be having. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
I don't think they'll ever go back down to the future, maybe the future setting, but exosuits in that. most likely not. But I'd be curious
Yeah.
to see what like Advanced Warfare would play like on the Modern Warfare engine with the health and all that the same as
That
Modern
would be
Warfare.
weird. That'd be kind of
That'd
weird.
be that'd be
Although
weird.
speaking of the health, I know a lot of people are having issues with the TTK, the time to kill,
Yeah.
on the alpha. It's very inconsistent from what I've seen, and honestly experienced myself too, because a lot of times I'll die really quickly, or I'll take a few shots and then I'll kill them really quickly, and I don't know what it is. Again, it's an alpha, so you gotta cut them some slack a little bit.
Yeah.
But I know the TTK is a little bit weird. And the other thing that's broken about the game, too, not just that low health screen that I mentioned earlier, but the spawns are broken,
The
too.
spawns I've heard they are not
Oh my
that
God.
good. Yeah.
Did I... It was crazy. Just I would spawn 2 feet in front of somebody sometimes. It was absurd.
Yeah.
Which again,
I can
I
imagine.
cut them a little bit of slack because it's an alpha, but we gotta get that fixed for the actual game. I don't want to be playing Champion Hill, and then I'm on my last life and spawn right in front of somebody. That ain't gonna happen. That
Yeah.
my PlayStation's going out the window if that happens. My God.
No, I've seen clips of enemies spawning right in front of people and then just getting like hit in the back. But no, I think like you said, it's an alpha, so issues are obviously going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But Sledgehammer said they're going to address it also. That's good as well.
And that's the whole point of an alpha. You know, that's the whole
just so
point.
they can,
People have to
like,
play test.
Yeah, these are going to be ready for the beta when it comes out. And yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it when they release the beta. If it's gonna be Champion Hill again, or if it's gonna be their actual like team deathmatch or things like that, you know?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think maybe they'll have Champion Hill in it again, but I think definitely we should be expecting TDM domination, perhaps maybe free for all.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like a team deathmatch Champion Hill beta. That'd be really cool. Because then we can get glimpses of the Creator class, which I would assume the Creator class
Modern
would be
Warfare.
identical to Modern Warfare's. And yeah, then we get to see what kind of maps are in the game too, not just the Champion Hill maps. And I want to play with more guns. You know, I definitely want to play with more guns. I think at the current moment, for guns, speaking of that, I would say the STG and the bar are probably the 2 best in the game.
I've heard the bar is very, very good.
Yeah, it's honestly I didn't like it at first because it only starts with 20 bullets in the magazine. But then you upgrade it. When you upgrade it and it has 30 bullets in the magazine, then you're sitting pretty. But the MP40 is also a good option. The Tommy gun's okay. There's a LMG called the DP27, which is all right. I mean, I only got like 2 kills with it, so I don't really have that much of an opinion on it. And then you have shotguns and pistols, which I've like not even bothered trying to use because I just can't find a situation where I can use a shotgun or a pistol in this alpha yet. So, I mean, I just want to use more guns. I know there's already a good chunk of weapons in the alpha already, but I want to use more.
Is there snipers yet? No.
Oh, yes, there are snipers.
How are they?
The 3-line rifle and the I think it's the car. I haven't used a sniper yet either.
Okay.
Because I'm not a sniper. I'm really not a sniper. I'm a campaign sniper, you know, where I can
you like sniping in campaigns.
where I can snipe bots. But multiplayer, it's a little bit difficult for me. I'm more of a flex, as they would call it in the Call of Duty League, where I like to switch back and forth between ARs and SMGs a lot. So, yeah, that's how I play. And then sometimes LMGs, but meh.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to me, it depends on what game. Like Cold War, I don't really like using snipers because of how slow they are. I'm guessing sniping will be very similar to Modern Warfare, where there's kind of a bit of speed to it when you have your gun up fully leveled up and you have all the attachments on that you want.
Yeah.
I think overall the game is looking quite good. I think it's looking as good as it can be. And at first, I was kind of complaining about the World War II setting because I don't know, I'm not a big fan of World War II. But when you really think about it, it makes sense that they're going for a World War II setting because no other game is it right now. No other game is at all going with the World War II setting. So Battlefield's going to be going with the future setting.
Yeah.
I don't know what other games are coming out. But for
Well,
the
you
most
have
part,
Halo Infinite, which is also
Halo
in the
Infinite, yeah,
future.
in the future, yeah. And I think with the modern settings, since Modern Warfare 2 is coming out next year, you know, you think at least it'd be coming out next year.
Yeah.
With Infinity Ward at the ring again. Having a World War II setting now kind of makes sense since it'll be its own unique game. And
Yeah.
my lights fell twice there. Fuck you.
Oh.
My little light fell. I'll fix it in a second. But I think Vanguard's looking like a pretty decent game so far. Sure, there's problems, but they're going to be fixing them, obviously. I think the next thing we need to see is their maps, their normal multiplayer maps, because
Yeah.
I think for a while, I think we can all agree that multiplayer hasn't really been, you know, not like Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 levels of people enjoying the multiplayer for the most part. I know Cold War is a good game. Absolutely, it's a fun game. But there's other things that kind of get in the way of that, like skill-based matchmaking isn't that great. But that's probably going to come back. But
Well, interestingly enough, you know, like you were saying, I feel like with the recent Call of Duty games, it's all been extremely polarizing, where no one can really agree on if it's good or bad or not. And, you know, I think a lot of people can unanimously get behind the fact that Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 and all those classic games are really good multiplayers. So, I mean, it is going to be really interesting to see how people like the Vanguard multiplayer and their normal maps, which, yeah. Also,
it can very much vary, yeah.
I just thought of this right now because of the normal maps. Do we think, because Dark Aether is coming back, do we think we will see Onslaught 2? I just thought of this right now.
You know, maybe actually.
Because of the Dark Aether storyline. I think it would fit thematically.
I guess it depends. When did the Onslaught's previously to Cold War, isn't it? To D Machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could very much so, and that could be the whole exclusive deal with Sony and and Activision. Oh yeah, we get Onslaught again, and again, I wouldn't mind that at all if they want to do that, because now I have a PlayStation, I can actually play it. I'm buying all my COD games on PlayStation from now on. That is the good thing about COD right now, right? They fix all my major issues with it. No season pass, cross-play, cross-progression. There's no losing. There's no losing at all. So
yeah,
it's good. Life is good.
The crossplay is great for zombies. I think crossplay on
absolutely.
zombies is one of the greatest things you could have ever had, honestly.
There'll never be dead lobbies again, unless the map's completely awful.
And then you have crossplay on multiplayer, where a lot of people... I see people arguing we need to remove crossplay now because of the hackers on PC and all that kind of stuff, which, by the way, have you heard the recent news about the hacking?
Oh yes, I know. I mean, this is all I know pretty much. But they're using the whole, that hacking situation, having an anti-cheat as a marketing tactic, or is it more than that? They have
that, and I heard a few days ago that Activision is pretty much threatening like the company who makes the hacks, or like the people who make the hacks, and being like, hey, if you don't get rid of this shit, you know, you're going down. So I'm glad that's happening, and I hope those companies who make all the cheats and the hacks just crumble, because that just ruins the game.
Absolutely,
it just ruins it.
You know what they can do?
What could they do?
That they can go out and get a real job instead of profiting off hackers, getting people to buy their hacks and stuff. So I'm sorry, hacker person who's been living rent, you know, quite comfy for the past year or so because of Warzone hacks, making probably $10K a month for selling your anti-cheats. Now you're gonna have to go out and get a real job, unfortunately. So
dude,
enjoy that.
I don't even know how much cheats cost, to be totally honest. I mean,
I know that Cronus Max thing cost about $30 because I got an ad for it on YouTube. You know them ads where it's like you can. I know. You know them ads where like you know that someone's paid for it. It's not like a company where it's professional. Right. Like it's not like a Walmart ad or like a Sony ad. It's like someone's made this in their house.
Right.
Or like, have you seen this? I'm curious about this, right? Have you seen them videos that people have paid to be ads? and get pushed out for ads.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I have ads on YouTube videos that are like 3 hours long. Like, that's not an advertisement. Like, that is straight up not an advertisement.
No, you're just paying to get your content out there. Don't get me wrong. I can appreciate the moves, but at the same time, when I don't know how you feel about it, but when I see someone pushes out their video that way by using ads, I instantly, I wouldn't say lose respect, but the respect was never there. If I watch someone's video and it's good, I have respect for it. But if I watch someone's video and then they've pushed it out because of that, if it's good, sure, I'll respect it. But at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow.
See, the thing is with that is, I know you have different types of advertisements. You have different types of things. Like, for example, you could say, like the longer ads that are the fitness ads. Oh yeah, buy this protein bar that are like 5 minutes that explain what's going on. I can let that slide, right? Because most likely
because they're explaining it's an ad.
They're explaining that, and you can skip those too. But it would be like putting one of my tutorials as an advertisement on YouTube. Like, could you imagine for a second, you're watching a Noah J video or a K Cosmic video, right? You want to watch one of their videos, and then all of a sudden, one of my videos pops up as an advertisement, and it's just like it would be weird. It'd be really weird. And I notice a lot of the times too with those types of people, they get dislike bombed so hard too, because of that.
It's because someone's looking at it. It's like, oh well, what the fuck's this? Why have you put this as an ad? You stole your dad's credit card, have you?
I mean, it's artificial. It's artificial.
Here's
engagement.
Here's the thing, right? Here's something. If you're watching this and you want to do YouTube, this is something I feel like me and you have probably learned along the way. Mm-hmm. Your channel will do well when it does well. There's no point of spamming your content. Absolutely, sure. There's ways to grow and meet new viewers by Discord, Twitter, all that stuff, right? But when you go down the route of subbing for subbing or paying for advertisements on YouTube, it doesn't work, because a viewer, if they subscribe, they've watched your video, they've liked it, like, okay, I like this channel, I'm going to subscribe because I want to see what it comes up with next. Right. When it comes down to using an ad, you're getting all these views, but they don't mean anything, because a view only means something if they subscribe, like it, comment, something like that. Then
a lot of the times too is views. The views are half of the reason why some of these videos get propelled out in the first place, and it's not just the views, but it's also the metadata. I think if you can find some good tags, it's also great to have. Don't spam metadata though. There's also that, where if you spam metadata, then that's number one, I think it's actually against the YouTube terms of service. And,
yes, it is. Yeah.
Number two, it just makes it look desperate. I mean, I hate to sound harsh, but it makes it look desperate. And like you were saying, the content, you will grow when it's your time to grow. It's all about patience. It's all about patience. And you can promote your content on your Twitter, on your Instagram, on your Discord. Knock yourself out because that's your page and stuff. But a lot of the sub for sub, and especially buying subscriptions and buying likes and views, that's just a cheat way to get any kind of, I don't even want to call it recognition, but it's just a cheat way to get analytics.
The thing with that is sure, it could work, but most likely it won't work, is the thing, like it's
like I don't know if you remember this from a couple of years ago, like the whole, like the toy channel drama on YouTube, where a lot of these channels would viewbot, and and it's so painfully obvious when they do too, that it's absurd, and you don't want to be one of those people. You really don't want to be one of those people that view bots. You want to grow organically, and you want to grow with being who you are and with your content and what you can bring to the table and what you have that's unique to you. Because I know a lot of people out there, they will say, well, what's so unique about me? What's so special about me? And why should I make content? Why? It sounds very defeatist to me, because I personally believe that every single person has their own unique style. Every person, their own person, their own personality. You can bring yourself to the table, and people will subscribe to you because of you. Whether you are informative, whether you're funny, you are any other adjective that can describe a content creator or an entertainer. You bring whatever you want to bring to the table. You don't even have to talk or show your face either. Like Dream, Relaxing End, especially Relaxing End. That guy hasn't even spoke. He hasn't spoke. He hasn't shown his face. You don't even have to do any of that. You can bring your own little personal flavor and style to the content, because content is also, I think, could be a reflection of someone's entertainment personality is what I'm going to call it, because, I think there's an entertainer in every one of us in their own unique way. And I think that's part of the entertaining personality. And I know some people are going to have it and some people don't, because that's just how it is. Some people, they might be really good. They might not be good. But the bottom line is, I know this sounds like rambling. The bottom line is, you don't know if you're good until you try. But if you are going to try, don't do it the scummy way. Don't view bot. Don't buy subscriptions. Don't do any of that. And I'm not entirely sure how we got on this conversation, but we did.
I'm not either.
But we did. And I guess that's our YouTube lesson of the day. Thank you for watching our TED Talk.
Thank you for watching our TED Talk. Thank you. Thank you so much.
But yeah, I know it kind of sounded like I was rambling there a little bit.
No, it's all.
I do genuinely believe what I said there, that I think everybody has something unique to bring to the table. And I know some people are going to be good at it and some people aren't going to be good at it, because, again, that's just how it is.
I think as well is like, when you put the time and effort into learning everything, and, especially YouTube, it's like one of them things where you don't start off and you sound great. You think you're going to sound great, and you listen to your first take and, oh, that's awful. Once you stop cringing at the sound of your voice, you know you're doing well, sort of thing. Like once you hear your voice, like, oh, that's okay. Once you start cutting out things like things like that, once you start making your things a little bit more polished and you learn, you work on, your actual video quality as well, transitions, things like that. I think everyone can have their own sort of personal style to their videos and the content they're making or whatever they do. But I think there's definitely such a learning curve, and everyone can be good at it. It's just the fact you have to put the time and effort in, because some people don't want to do that. Some people look at YouTube like, oh, I could become rich and famous. Ooh, money. And the most likely chances are you're not going to be able to do that. You're probably not.
Not going to be able to do that overnight.
Yeah, exactly. If you work as much as you can, all your free time you kind of dedicate to YouTube, I promise you'll see results. People will subscribe. If your content's good enough, people will tell you. It's all about learning, really. I think
the thing is, too, I have to say this, too. I'm going to be parroting Gary Vee here a little bit, because I watch a lot of Gary Vee stuff. I think he's a really cool guy. Gary, by the way, if you're watching this, hey, man, why not? Come on the podcast.
Absolutely.
I think Gary makes a really good point where a lot of people, they're in such a hurry. They're in such a hurry to, we got to make the best super content ever, and if it doesn't do really good right away, then I'm a failure. You're just getting started. You are just getting started. I mean, a lot of people are our age, right? I'm 22 years old, and I recognize I have a fuckload of time ahead of me to grow even more and to make more content. I'm early in the process.
Yeah, exactly.
And I recognize that. A lot of people, and I implore you all who are our age, who are starting YouTube, really reevaluate if you're thinking about this negatively, because you're not going to run out of time. You're not going to run out because you have the time, because you are young. We are young. And this is the part where I think we need to start learning and trying new things and doing other things and trying to figure out what fits your niche and what you're going to do. Yeah. I mean, even by certain stretches of the imagination, 30 is early. Even if you're 30 years old, you're early in the process too, because you still have another 60 years left in your life. I mean, I think a lot of people, it's the instant gratification that I think can kind of get to us a little bit as a generation, because I know A lot of times it's instant now. We want things now because we have everything on our phones. We have everything on our computers. Yeah. It's all now. So they think that, oh, I can just do this now. I can just do a viral video now, which granted, sometimes that does happen, right? However, if you really want to work at this and make this a career, and you want to make serious cash off of this, it's not just going to be that one-hit wonder, even if you do get that.
No, absolutely
you're going to have to build off of that, and you're going to have to grow with that. And it's all going to be up to how you as an individual perceives it and takes it going forward. And again, might sound like I'm rambling a little bit, but I'll get back on track. You are not too late. You are not too old.
No.
To start something.
Not.
You are just early in the process. If you're trying to figure it out, and how do I explain this? If you're trying to figure it out and you know generally what you want to do, you're already off to a great start. Okay? Yeah. Because I know me personally, I've been in entertainment my whole life, basically. I knew whatever I wanted to do, it was going to be entertainment related.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it was acting, writing, being a director. Now obviously I focus on content creation and voice acting now. Things change. And don't be afraid to change your viewpoints either and shift to figure out what you want to do and what makes you happy. And I think that's another bottom line too. What makes you happy is going to be the ultimate determiner on what you do with your career. If you try to chase the YouTube and you try to chase content creation for just the clout and for I'm going to be rich and famous overnight, you failed. I'm sorry. I hate to be that harsh, but it's already a losing game. You got to do it because you love it. And it's never too late to start. You're early in the process. We're all young. Because I know 95% of the people who want to start YouTube are in our age range. So it's not too late to start. Just put something out there. Put any kind of content out there. Keep working at it. And just develop your craft. Be patient. And patience is the number one goal.
Yeah. I think you saying getting stuff out there is one of the best tips you can get. Because with YouTube, you can learn as much as you can. Again, by watching YouTube videos. Learning editing software, buying better equipment, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But actually putting content out there until you've actually experienced problems, that's when the real learning actually starts.
Right.
Like, for example, my first video I put out, my audio wasn't synced up with the gameplay at all. So, it was like 5 seconds of quietness with gameplay, then me talking. Right? Okay. Because I didn't know how to use editing software. I didn't know how to use it at all. I thought it was in, it wasn't. You learn that mistake. Okay, I'll cut out that first little bit. There we go. That's me talking at the start, and then it's one of the things. You're never too late to start. You're never too late to start, and especially people our generation as well, our age range, kind of like you have so much time to actually do it, and it doesn't have to be 5 videos a week. Fully optimized titles, tags, all that stuff. It could be 1 video a week. If you have time for 1 video a week, put up that 1 video. It could be good enough to do that. If you put the time and effort into the video, it will show in the response and all that. And again, with YouTube, it's something you don't want to do it for the money. Once you get monetized, you start making a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to have a little bit of cash, floating about. It's good because you can use that again to re-put the money into your YouTube channel. You can buy better lighting. You can get a better mic. All these things. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, who doesn't? Okay, I got to address this really quickly. Of course, who doesn't want money? Like, no shit.
Everyone loves money,
right? But you gotta do something that you love, and that thing you love makes you money too. It's the old saying goes. You do something you love, you never work a day in your life. I mean, that's just what I mean. No shit, everyone wants money, right? Because I can already anticipate people going, well, Jason, people still have to make a living. You have to make money, and people have regular jobs too. I know. Believe me, I'm well aware. That people have their 9-to-5s, they have their part-time jobs, they're bouncing between jobs, and I know life is a struggle.
Yeah.
But I think you could also, if you want to do content creation, you want to do anything else extra, you will find the time to do it.
Absolutely.
You will find the time.
If anything you enjoy, for example, myself, I'm quite a busy person. I work, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, so it takes up a big chunk of my time. But I recognize that as soon as I'm out of that out of that shop, as soon as I'm done working, I have all the rest of that day to do stuff for video stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have potentially, if you're sitting down and you're calculating your time very precisely, you're living off 6-7 hours sleeps, which is okay. 6 hours, 6 hours. That's kind of what you want when you're sleeping, right? You could have a solid 8 hours every day doing content stuff. A solid 8 roughly hours. You get home, you start it. You don't even need that much time. Take 4 hours out your day if that 8 hours is too much, or take 2 if that's too much as well. You could potentially upload a video each day if you really wanted to, whilst you are working, and it wouldn't be too stressful. If you have the time, you dedicate your time to it. If you are smart with your time as well, because that's very important. With me, for example, right now I'm getting a lot of gameplay ready for when Cold War's finished, so I can make a bunch of content, and I won't have to chase it up because I won't have the time to get that content then. If you're smart with your free time, if you work on whatever type of videos you go with as well, is very important. If, let's say, you just do playthrough stuff, you sit down, you play a level, you play a mission, that's it. Get your editing stuff done, upload it, ready for tonight. Not that much time. You if you enjoy something and you want it to work, like me, I'm not too our own horn, but I think me and you are pretty well established that we want YouTube to work out for ourselves, obviously. So we put the time and dedication into it. But if you really want it to work, you will find the time for it, like anything else. Yeah. If you really want to get into shape, you'll find the time for it. If you really want to,
right.
If you really want to learn to drive, you will find the time for it. Like everything, you will find the time for it if you really, really care about it.
It's the intention. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of human intention too.
Yeah.
Because it's all a mental game too. It's being, oh wow, how do I describe this? It's essentially, your mind is the catalyst for so many things in your life.
Absolutely.
Consciously and subconsciously. And the fact of the matter is that if you have your intention to do that, like I'm going to do that, and it is something that you genuinely want to do, you will find a reason to do it because it is something that you genuinely want to do, and it's something that you want to dedicate your time to. I think a lot of people who might be sitting around going, well, this would be cool for me to do, but why am I not doing that? I don't feel like doing it. I must be lazy. I don't think you're lazy. I think it just might be a lack of motivation. Now,
exactly.
I'm not saying that in a bad context, actually, because when you say lack of motivation, a lot of people instantly go negative, and a lot of people instantly go, oh, well, you're just calling people unmotivated, and that's not cool. I'm not calling people unmotivated in the sense that you're thinking. I'm saying that it's something that doesn't excite you that much that you're going to get up and do it.
So you need to find a reason why it's exciting. If you really care about it,
you need to find a reason. You need to find a reason to do it and get up and do it, because you're not going to be lazy for the things that you want to do or have to do.
Yeah, I think something else that can really help as well is what the lion mentality is.
The what mentality?
The lion.
The lion mentality, like like big and brave and bold and.
No, not only the mentality. It's more the mentality that like you're going to do the most work. You're going to work more than anyone, sort of thing. So that's kind of something I've been learning about because I find it quite interesting. Essentially, it's the thought process of I'm going to work harder than everyone else.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's it. Like that's it. You're going to work harder than everyone else. So if you ever find it's quite stupid. Like, oh, if you're unmotivated, just work harder than everyone else, right? But sometimes you have to change your thought process and the way you're looking at something. Like, if you're looking at something like, oh, I can't be fucked doing that. Fuck that, It's one of them things where you change it. Like, no, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it faster, or I'm going to do it, like, I'm going to work harder towards it than anyone else is, sort of thing. So then things where if you can't be bothered to get up and do YouTube for whatever reason, find the reason, and once you find it, own it. You have to double down on that and be like, you have to show you're passionate about the projects and the content you're working on. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people nowadays, is that they don't show it in their videos. Maybe they even feel like they're working towards it and they want it to be good. But you have to really just double down on it, because there's so many other people doing it as well that you have to try and be the best, sort of thing.
And I think that's the other thing too. I think we're people watching this episode of the podcast. I think everybody watching, I think this will be one of the last things that I say about this, because then we'll get back on topic to actual Call of Duty. But this is such a fascinating topic to me, that what we're talking about is what we've experienced and what we have experienced. We're sharing what we have experienced. You know, obviously we're young guys, and this is our, you could technically say, limited experience. But I mean, still 22 years on the planet. That's still 22 years. You know.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, I'm just saying what I think, and I'm saying what I've experienced and things that have shaped my mentality throughout the years and doing YouTube and doing entertainment for my whole life. It may or may not work for you. That's another thing is too. Everyone is different. There's idiosyncrasies to everything, and there's nuance. So what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. So I think that's another thing that I think people need to keep in mind, that, you know, I'm more than happy to share this with everybody, and I'm more than happy to tell people what I've experienced. Take it or leave it. You know, you do you. You figure out what's going to work for you. If you found what we said useful, awesome. If you don't find what we found useful, awesome. It's just, you know, because it's all nuance, and it's all, everyone's a different person at the end of the day. So I just want to say that real quick before we move on back to Call of Duty, because
Vanguard, and
you know, I just want to clarify that.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, it's all opinions at the end of the day, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like what works for us could, you know, work for you or could not work for you. It's very much so a person to person, content to content, you know, style of content to, you know, it's so many factors in it that you'll say things that contradict other things you say, sort of thing. There's so many things to grasp about it that, like,
and opinions are bound to change too. I know.
Exactly.
You know, I'm sure in a year's time from now, I'll have a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Just how it is. But speaking of things differing from thing to thing, I think the difference between Vanguard's gameplay and Cold War's gameplay for zombies is going to be interesting. And I mentioned this before, but I think I'll mention it again, where we had that zombie event in Modern Warfare, in Warzone, rather, not Modern Warfare, but in Warzone, where you had the computers and you turn on the computer and the zombies show up. I feel like that event is kind of the precursor to what Vanguard zombies might feel like. Yeah. And I think it'll be okay. I kind of vaguely remember how it plays.
Do you remember me saying how it felt like Exo Zombies to an extent? Some of the
vaguely.
So with it, I'm not talking about the exosuits, obviously, because that's, you know, silly, you know. But the way the zombies walked, their eyes have the glow kind of followed each other after, kind of thing. So you know how normal zombies, the color just stays.
Oh, so the glow of their eye had the, like, tracing on it, and it like
tracing, yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
And even their lunge attacks, where it's like, you know, not like that. A lot more aggressive, scary than that. Like, you know when they jump up and then they try and go for a lunge.
So like the certain pattern that they use to attack.
Yeah, very similar to the style in Exo Zombies, and I'm guessing it won't be that in Vanguard. Most likely, maybe it will be. And another thought as well, actually, is what I thought about is, you know, going forward, this engine.
Yeah.
For the most part, the zombies will most likely just stay the same. There won't be much changing in terms of like mechanics and stuff. Because I think even with Activision, they're gonna want it so that every game going forward is so similar to Warzone that zombies that we get in World War II, or not World War II, in Vanguard, are gonna be similar to zombies we get in potentially Modern Warfare 2 if we get that in that game. Yeah. Especially since it's the same studio working on it. If that's what they're doing from now on. No idea if they'll do that or not, though. Quick question. Do you think Treyarch will be the only developer for zombies going forward? If they for each mode they do. So you think if Modern Warfare 2 happens, do you think it's going to be Treyarch again?
Easy. Absolutely.
And here's another question. Do you think going forward, since we're consistently getting content from Treyarch, it'll be the case where we won't get one map and then 4 DLC maps? It'll be the case that we get potentially 4 maps in a season, and next season we'll get 4 maps, and then next season we'll get 4 maps.
Yeah, I think
I
honestly,
think
with
I
with
think
what's going on, I think they will have I think they'll have a very similar system to how Cold War Zombies operated with the seasons, and some maps come out during the season reloads and things like that.
yeah.
However, the one difference is that I think is going to be different going forward here with Vanguard Zombies or Modern Warfare 2, or whatever game's going to come out later, is Outbreak is going to be in the game as a game mode, I think.
You think?
Whereas Outbreak was DLC 2 for Cold War.
Yeah.
And Treyarch even calls it DLC 2 themselves.
Yeah, they said it in
So,
their thing. Yeah. You think it's
it,
going to be
it,
its own game mode, and it's going
yeah.
to be so different from something like it's going to be Outbreak, but it's going to be so different that it could be categorized as something like Warzone, or
Well, I
how,
think
how,
I think where Outbreak is concerned, I think it's still going to be, I think what we're going to have for Outbreak is the new Warzone map, but
yeah,
zombies, and it's broken up into the different regions like we had with the Fireteam maps.
hmm,
And I think it's just going to come with the game, which would mean Treyarch has room to release an extra round-based map for Vanguard Zombies, which
yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people would be happy about. And then, they can add new Outbreak regions here and there too without Outbreak filling up a DLC slot. Because I know a lot of people in the community were really upset that Outbreak filled a DLC slot. And, we don't want this, we want round-based. And
yeah.
well, we know all those arguments and all that debate. But I think what they're gonna do is I don't think they're gonna abandon Outbreak after putting this much work into it. They
No,
just
absolutely
can't.
not.
They
And
can't. So I
they've
think
been
Outbreak
putting
is
work
coming
into it
with the
still.
game. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Outbreak is gonna come with the game with a round-based map at the start. Most likely with Onslaught as well, like we mentioned earlier, because I think it would just fit. I think Onslaught would
yeah.
would come back.
And I think perhaps what would happen is as well is that Treyarch kind of look, okay, the community didn't really like it when we only had one zombie map at launch, not even like a small little bonus map. So this time around, let's give them something small, even if it's the case that it's just, what if it's just Nactor and Toten, the 4D machine, What if it's just that, I mean, something little so that players have more than one map to
Could
play
be
is what I
interesting.
think they might do as well. Is that one potential thing? Maybe.
Maybe.
Obviously, I mean, who knows, right? And
It's
I'm
a
going
very
into it as
interesting
well.
point.
Who's going into it as well? I have a strong feeling that the map that we'll be getting will be a very same vibe to Deep Machine. I don't know if you are getting that sort of grasp as well. I
Potentially.
think it'll be some sort
Potentially.
of facility, zombies, obviously.
I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be Project End Station related because
Yeah.
I think in World War, or in fact, now I did it.
In World War II.
In Vanguard Zombies, I think we're going to be exploring the Dark Aether a little bit more. We're going to be exploring Dr. Vogel and Project End Station and the experiments done with that, because obviously it's gonna really tie into history again, for the zombie storyline. Obviously, there's a little bit of historical implications with the Dark Aether storyline right now, but I think Vanguard Zombies has a real opportunity to go even more with the historical context and to really talk about the side of World War II that might not be talked about as much, which I know
Yeah.
it might be common knowledge, but I just don't think it's one of those topics that a lot of people bring up when they talk about World War II. But the Nazis in World War II were very interested in the occult, and they were really interested in like dark powers and any little advantage they could try to get to win the
Yeah.
war, they explored.
Yeah.
So this could really give us a different look into how Germany tried to win the war with the Dark Aether
Yeah.
and trying to make an undead army and things like that.
And I think
And
that'd be
again,
cool.
historical implications and context. I like history, so bring it on.
Yeah. I think whatever they do, it will be good.
Yeah.
I think since it's Treyarch, since it's the Modern Warfare engine, hopefully it goes over all smoothly.
Yeah.
I think the game will be pretty solid, and I think I've said this before. I think Vanguard Zombies will be somewhat of a better experience than 2 Cold War, since I feel like they've been a lot more prepared for this one than they would have been for Cold War. I think in general, just because it's the Modern Warfare engine, everything's going to be working on this now. It's going to be easy to port stuff over from point A to point B. I just think in general it'll be a slightly better game. Maybe not like, oh my god, this is so great, but I think it'll be good. I'm excited for whatever they throw at us. So
it has the potential to do that. I definitely think it has the potential to do that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think I have a good feeling about Vanguard Zombies now after playing the Champion Hill Alpha. I have a good feeling about, what they're going to do story-wise too. However, one last thing that I'd like to mention before we end off today's episode. DLC 4 for Cold War, I forgot where I heard this. This is going to drive me crazy, and I forgot where I heard this. But I was listening to something or someone saying, oh my god, I forgot if it was DK, Lex, I forgot who it was, but at the end of DLC 4 for Cold War, we would get a trailer for Vanguard Zombies.
Ooh, that'd be
theoretically, it's not confirmed, right?
No,
it's just an idea that somebody proposed, and I forgot who said it. What do you think of that idea? I think that'd be awesome because
cool.
then it's a good way to put a button on put a cap on the Cold War side of things, and you'd be like, okay, we're done with Cold War now. We're moving on to Vanguard, and it'd be just a great transition. I don't know what they would do for DLC 4, but I can just imagine, like, right at the end of the boss fight, right at the end of whatever, our characters walk up to some computer, right? And they go, oh, wait, what's going on here? And they access the files, and it's supposed to be like an old video file of Project End Station. Now we're going into my theory. It's like an old video file of Project End Station, which just so happens to be the trailer, right? And so it's like we're watching the trailer, and at the same time, the operators in the game are watching the trailer.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So it's like, I think it'd be kind of a cool meta type of thing, breaking the fourth wall in a different way, where it's like we're watching the trailer with our characters.
That'd be great.
And it's like, oh wow, so this was happening a long time ago. Wow, Project End Station is really corrupt, and we have to put an end to it once and for all, or whatever, right? And then it'll do a Dead of the Night where it's like, some years later.
Oh yeah.
Or some years earlier.
Flashback. Woo.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be cool.
Idea. I think that'd be cool. I hope they do that now. If they do that, I will give you $10.
Let's go.
I'll
put that towards COD points.
Very good. Filling your addiction.
I'll make sure I'll buy an anime tracer pack just for you.
Thank you. I respect that. Buy it in Vanguard as well, not in Cold War. Buy it in Vanguard so you can use it in.
Right.
Because that's realistic.
I wanna storm the beaches of Normandy with an anime STG or an anime Tommy gun, not an STG. Americans didn't have STGs.
That's what you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna get. So.
Right. Yeah. Of course. It's just how it is. I could just. That's just. That's a funny thought, actually. Now that I think about it, just anime skins in World War II. That's weird.
I know what happened.
It'll happen.
They don't care about setting this time around and all the realistic stuff. So, oh well.
Yeah, it'll happen. Oh well. I mean, it just be like that. I don't care, right? I like anime. I like anime, so it's like that's fine with me. I mean, funny enough, I don't have any of the anime packs, but I like anime. Anyways, that's just a random off-topic thing here at the end. But hey, anyways, good episode of the podcast today.
Absolutely.
We talked about Vanguard, the Alpha, Champion Hill, how we think Vanguard Zombies is going to play. We talked about content creation and motivation and YouTube, and just, we just talked about life, really.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. And then we kind of came back at the end and talked about the future and things like that of zombies. So that was a good episode today, I think. Do you have any closing thoughts, my friend?
If you're starting YouTube or want to start it, just go for it. Give it
a try.
The best advice you're gonna get. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, well, you don't like it. So.
Exactly. Yeah, give it a try. You never. It's you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
So
there you go.
Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for episode 60 of the Division Z podcast. What was your favorite part? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And with that said, thank you once again for watching. Check out all the links down below in the description to stay up to date with what we do. And have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending where you are in this crazy world. We'll see you guys next week with another episode. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.